Santa. Yay! So is Max. He didn't want to be left out. He's like, I'm going to bark and let everyone know that I'm here. I am just going to check that I am live. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes, I am very excited today. I just was, I was almost late because I was, you know, at that moment where you're like, I am jamming to Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. And I was singing along and I was like, oh, shit, I have to be on live. So that is why I'm a little bit late. I was just, you know, doing some Guns N' Roses singing. It had to happen. It's a Thursday. It's Friday tomorrow. I love Fridays. Just really excited about Friday. Yay! Kathy's here. Loves a bit of Guns N' Roses. Who doesn't? Like, you know when it's really awkward as well because I was humming it. You know when you're like humming a song and you go, oh shit. You know when you're humming a song and your phone falls over? That. Yeah, you know when you're humming a song and you're like, I can't remember what that song is. And so you go, da, 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 and it takes you like 4 or 5 goes and you're just like, what is wrong with my life? And then when you realise it's Guns N' Roses and you're like, yep, no, I'm officially a cretin. So that's what just happened. Is that what the song says? Yes. Yes, I believe that's how the lyrics go. Yeah, I fell over. I had a Skype call from Sam today, and Skype apparently no longer works on my laptop, which is just very, very annoying. So I managed to get a Skype call from him, which was lovely, but it means I can only use my phone, and now I'm having to prop up my phone with a pen. This is about how techie it gets. There you go, guys, look at that. Technology at its finest. So today is our last live training of the week, which I'm very, very excited about. If you know anybody who wants to be here, who did want to be here, please tag them so that they can come in and get all of the juicy goodness that is coming our way today. Yay! And for those of you who have been messaging me about Sam before we kind of get started with the live today, he is fine. He has been working from about 6:15 in the morning till about midnight every single day for the last 9 days. So he's very, very tired. And hopefully I will get to hear from him once more before he goes. On the 11th of October, he goes out to the arse end of nowhere. I think, again, that is an actual location for you. Compass digits to be announced. But yeah, until the 6th of October, so I won't hear from him at all from then. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll get to hear from him once more before he goes properly away. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like I've done well. It's more Skype calls than I was expecting, so yay, like all good. Okay, so today's training. I'm really, really excited about today's training because we've had a really good week in here, and I really am grateful. I want to say, you know, or be grateful to a few people really for participating this week, because I know it hasn't been the easiest week. I am going to keep moving my phone to see if I can make it a bit more stable as well. It hasn't been the easiest week for a lot of people, and I know that a lot of people, hey Rebecca, how are you feeling, my love? I know that a lot of people have been confused about, you know, what's pitching, what's not pitching, but ultimately this week has led to some really, really interesting discussions, and it's made the group a really, really nice place to be. And I don't know whether anyone else has been feeling like that, but for me, I've been like, actually, it's been really valuable being in the group this week, and that's really, really nice. And so I'm just really grateful, and there have been a few really, really interesting threads. Marcy Masters put up a really, really good thread. If you haven't gone and checked what your brand colours are, or what they really mean, go and check out that thread, because I did think it was phenomenal. We obviously had Sona Jamie had her baby, and put up the first pictures of her newborn baby boy in here, which was awesome. So I feel like he's technically like a mini Smarty, but he's just male, so he might have to be an honorary Smarty. So, you know, just thanks for having those kinds of conversations. Loved the other thread actually came up from Marcy today. So Marcy, like, if you watch the replay of this, know that your threads this week have been like on point, about taking personal responsibility and, you know, taking action and momentum and things like that. Really, really interesting thread. So if you have missed any of those, go back and check them out. They've been really interesting this week, and I'm really hoping that we kind of continue this level of conversation and dialogue moving onwards, because it's just so much more fun. It's so much more interesting than, you know, blah, 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 pitchy. So today's training is all about sales, and it's an interesting one for me because usually I preach, and well, not usually, all the time I preach transparent sales, and I firmly believe that transparent selling is the way forward. However, there are lots of ways of selling in Facebook groups that are maybe not obvious, and that also don't involve you having to jam in, you know, your job title every 5 minutes. So that's what I want to cover today. I'm also going to do a couple of follow-up live trainings on this next week, because some people have come to me with questions about how to re-engage a disengaged Facebook group and all that kind of thing. So if you do have a specific question that we haven't covered off during any of the trainings this week, please let me know, because I'm always happy to go in and I'll come back in and do a few more on the topic, given how popular it's been. Okay, so diving in on the sales train. Selling in Facebook groups is a weird one, and there are a couple of things I want to preface this with. So when you are going into a Facebook group, just like we said on Monday, you want to have your groups that are for you, for your own learning development, and then you want to have your groups that are client-based, and they are your places where you are primarily looking for clients, looking to network with prospects. And there are a couple of things that you actually get out of Facebook groups in terms of selling without pitching that involve both the prospects directly, so both the people that you're selling to directly, and also to the group owners themselves and the leaders and the people in the space. And that's what I want to kind of cover off, because I think that there are so many things that we forget about when we're selling in Facebook groups, particularly when we're not allowed to pitch, or when it's difficult to pitch, or when you know, you're not entirely sure about the rules and what is kind of okay and what's not. I'm just moving you guys to make you stable. For some reason, my phone charger yesterday was great at holding this up, and today it's just not playing the game. So I want to talk about networks first, because networks ultimately are incredibly important. And I get a lot of people who come to me and say, Jess, you know, you're always saying that you make a lot of money from Facebook groups where you're not actually promoting anything. Is it just from the value that you add? Now, 90% of it is going to be from the value that I add, if I'm honest. Okay, so 90% of the time it is because people have seen me in the group, they've seen me showing up unapologetically, they've seen me giving value without intention. And so people come over and they join my tribe, and I nurture them in the Facebook group like we were talking about yesterday, and then I make sure that there are regular offers in here. However, I also get a lot of business because I take the time to actually network with everybody, and I'm going to explain this. Sorry, my friend's WhatsApping me lots of pictures about the Game of Thrones party that we're going to on Saturday. Let me just turn this off. So the first thing you've got to think about is that there are 3 kinds of people in a Facebook group. In a Facebook group where you're looking for clients, okay? The first person that is going to be there, or the first type of person that's going to be there, is your audience member. So the person that you are looking to sell to, okay? The ideal client, the prospect, you know, whatever you want to call them, those people are in that group. Okay, so we have to talk and we have to network with those people. And that happens with the standard show up, give value, be helpful, supportive, engage, start conversations, etc. The second type of person that is typically in a group where your ideal clients will hang out are actually your peers or your competitors. Okay, so people who are also doing what you do. And this is a really, really valuable one. People always, you know, we all talk about collaboration, and we all talk about the fact that we want to collaborate and we don't believe in competition and cliche. And I actually think it's really, really important, because I get an awful lot of business from people who are my peers, and I refer an awful lot of business to people who would normally be seen as my competitors. So if I find another really good sales coach who specializes in I don't know, email marketing, for example, I'm forever throwing people over there. So I have a lot of colleagues who, are also in sales, but who specialise in different areas than me, who perhaps have more time on their hands, who are currently accepting like maybe one-on-one clients or something. And so I will be referring people over. So I can't stress how important it is to actually network with your peers when you are going into these Facebook groups that are primarily focused around finding your clients. Because at some point when you network with these people, and you actually, whether it's that you get together and you do a joint venture, or you create a program together, or whether it's that you agree that actually you work in integrity and you're really great, so if I don't have space for a certain person, or actually if I don't have the same specialism that they need, I'm going to refer them to you and vice versa. It's actually really, really valuable. Okay, it's really, really valuable, and it's really important to connect with those people on a genuine level. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and make friends with every single one of your competitors, particularly if there's one that, kind of rips off your copy or like has ripped off your website or something. Don't do that. They are assholes, and probably don't communicate with them. But with other people, with people who are like you, who have the similar values, who have the similar levels of integrity, and who work in different or congruent specialisms to you, you should be networking with these people. You should be getting to know them. I love that, Heather. And just because they don't fit with you doesn't mean they can't work with another person in the same niche. Yes, exactly. Be looking out for people who have or sell services that are congruent to yours. So, for example, I might look to, network with people who are in marketing, because that's the step ahead of me. Once people master sales, they want to go out and they want to learn all the cool marketing stuff. I also network with people who are, focused around the previous stages to me. So things like copywriting, things like clarity, things like goal setting, all those kinds of things, because they are congruent to what I do. And it's one of the reasons that actually, I get a lot of referrals, because all of these people I'm referring to and they're referring people to me. B, I get a ton of guest experts, right? I can literally have a Rolodex of people. I'm like, I kind of want to talk to, I kind of want to do a thing about this. I want to bring in a guest expert, or I'm running a program on this, and I think it'd be great to have somebody who'd come and talk about mindset or marketing or copywriting or whatever. And I can just pick people up and go, yep, and have them there and have them on hand. So it benefits you to have those networks with your competitors, collaborators, peers, and it benefits your audience as well. Okay. The second thing you can do to sell in Facebook groups is to network with influencers. Okay, now this is always a bit of a weird one, and people always say to me, oh yeah, but isn't that a bit creepy? Like, what are you supposed to do? Just send them a cupcake. And I promise virtual cupcakes, so here, consider this your virtual cupcake, right? Networking with influencers is really important. And networking with influencers who have groups that have or are full of your ideal clients is also really important. Not just from a mercenary perspective of, you've got a group full of my ideal clients, I kind of want to be your friend and make some money from your group, but also because these people are obviously talented at growing a community that focuses on some of the things that you need to be focusing on, right? So, exactly, cake, wine, cupcakes, I'm all over it. But these people are obviously talented at growing these communities, and you know what? They probably also have a network of peers who are at that kind of stage ahead than you, that are always thinking, what's my next level? Do I really want to keep working one-on-one? Do I need to bring in another coach to my team? Do I need somebody who can, do speaking events or something like that, because I just don't want to? So it's really, really important to network with influencers who are running these communities. And by networking, you don't have to be a total sleaze about it, right? You don't have to be really annoying and kind of tagging them in every post that you do so that they can see that you're there. But simple things like reaching out and saying, hey, I really love your group. You've managed to cultivate an awesome community of people that actually show up, that take action, that are obviously really indoctrinated into you and buying from you. And I think that's really cool. A message like that goes a long way. Equally, you know, giving advice in their group and then tagging them and saying, hey, look, you know, this would be my perspective on it, but especially if you know it's the group owner's like area of specialism, but you know what, let's tag Jess, let's tag Kathy, let's tag Heather and see what she thinks, right? Because, sorry, itchy eyebrow, because that's a respect thing, okay? And it shows the group owner that you're not somebody who's like competitive and sharky and slimy and gross. Actually, you're somebody who wants to provide the best value to their community. And what that can lead to are things like talking on Facebook Live in their community, being invited to speak at their events, being invited to collaborate on things. Lots and lots and lots of different opportunities open themselves up when you start networking with influencers, right? The other good thing about that is it means that that influencer, I do it in my group, you know, if I know, for example, at the beginning of this live, Marcy did some great posts this week, and I was like, yeah, those posts were awesome. 90% of the people who watch this live, if they haven't already seen this post, are going to go and be like, I'm going to go and find Marcy's posts because Jess said they were really good. That's great for Marcy, right? Because the likelihood is that it's very easy for her then to have people who will approach her and be like, I really liked your post. You know, I thought that was really smart. Like, how could I work with you? What would be the way that I would go about that? So, you know, when you start doing things that are respectful of a group leader's community, when you start networking with them, when you start showing them that you are there genuinely to be valuable and collaborative rather than competitive and like, I just want to use your group to pitch a ton of stuff, you'll find they start to shout you out. And they'll start recommending you. When they see somebody that says, you know, who can help me lose weight? They'll be like, oh, this person. Who can help me deal with my hormones? Oh, that'll be Kathy or Rebecca or Julie. Like, you know, oh, who can help me, you know, look at my marketing? Who can help me create a funnel? That group leader is always thinking in their mind, oh yeah, that person would be great, or this person, and they will be shouting you out, they'll be putting you on threads, because honestly, it makes their life a lot easier. It makes my life a lot easier to have experts in the group. I can be like, yeah, I've no idea, but, you know, ask this person, and they might be able to help you, right? So make yourself valuable within the group, and you will actually get clients just by people associating you with being somebody who is collaborative instead of competitive, who is well respected by the group leader, and who is somebody that is seen to be nurturing. You'll also get clients from, like we've just spoken about, your competitors, your peers, who are referring people to you, who are having conversations with you, who are shouting about you in their communities. And the added benefit of this is that by doing these kinds of things, by showing up genuinely in these groups, by portraying, well, actually not portraying yourself, fuck that, like, by actually showing up as somebody that does this stuff, as somebody that gives value without intention or expectation and all these kinds of things, what happens is that you then become somebody they want to be around, okay? When I'm going in other groups, and even if my intention is that I want to get clients from that group, I don't sit and shout about my stuff all the time. I try and make myself really useful, you know, and that, in all honesty, is what I really, really preach to people, is that if you want to get clients, make yourself useful. Don't make yourself a doormat, right? There is a difference between helping people and then going way over your own boundaries. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with going into the search function and just searching sales or marketing and seeing if any questions have come up overnight that you could just give a quick answer to. Right? There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing sleazy about it. There's nothing gross about it. It's just saying, hey, I have a bit of time. I've got 15 minutes or whatever, and I can do a couple of those. You know, it's about really thinking about where you're showing up and how you're showing up. Is it that cold? It is pretty cold, and this is Sam's jumper. So I'm just being one of those sad people that's like, oh, Sam's not here, so I'm gonna like wear his jumper. I'm basically 16. But yeah, is this making sense? Are people okay with this? Are you seeing how this could work in your business? Or are you like, no, Jess, you're completely bonkers and that is not something I'd ever want to spend my time doing? It's fine, like you can say it, I'm cool. That's sweet. Yeah. Sam thinks it's funny because it's like his favourite jumper, and I'm just like, I stole it about 3 years ago, and now I just wear it when it's cold. I'm like, oh, my jumper. But yeah, so is this making sense, right? In order to sell effectively in Facebook groups, hey, love, without, without coming across as sleazy, and this is something that actually, Helen, you'll love, you can network with the people, the potential prospects, so you're showing up, you're being helpful, you're giving value without expectation or intention. You can network with your peers, with your competitors, to actually find collaborative opportunities, referral opportunities, basically being able to say, you recommend me, I will happily recommend you, people with congruent industries and things like that. And then with the influencers in the group, with the group leaders, show up, give value, make yourself useful to the group. Be somebody, like, do you know what I really love? I really love it when someone comes to me and says, Jess, someone wrote a post today and it was kind of not okay, like it didn't resonate with the vibe of your group. I really love that, because I think, do you know what? It's so nice that other people actually look at the newsfeed and actually look at what is going on in here and then bother to say, do you know what? I just don't feel like that matches your vibe. And I'm like, thanks. I'm really grateful. Like that, honestly, really, really useful. Like what I was saying earlier, the threads by people like Marcy, when they're showing up genuine conversation, I will talk about that all day long. Like all day long. I'll be like, yeah, that was a fantastic thread. That was really, really useful. And I'll direct people to it and I'll tag other people in it. And, that kind of thing absolutely goes a million miles with me. And I will promote those people and I'll be talking about those people to my network because I value it. Because it brings something to my community. It brings a new dimension to it, right? I love it. Andrea, this makes perfect sense. Helen, I love those messages too. Right, it just makes it so useful. And so this is the thing. This is where you want to be thinking about. When you're thinking about selling in Facebook groups or how to sell in Facebook groups without being pitchy, really what I'm saying is show up and actually give value to everybody. Support your competitors. Support the people who you want to actually end up serving. Support the group leader in whatever, the mission is for the group. Or by being really honest with them and saying, actually, do you know what? I didn't like that post, or I didn't find that valuable. This person, posted this and I didn't think that it met the needs of the group or that it was particularly useful or helpful, right? Those things will go a long way in terms of getting you clients, in terms of building your visibility and doing it in a genuine way, right? Not rocking up and being like, blog-worthy value post, insert business share page thing, insert casual meme with massive logo to my Facebook group on it, right? Christmas jumper, I am on the countdown, ready for Christmas. Really, I'm only bothered about this jumper because it means that I cannot wear a bra and nobody knows about it. Except now all of you guys do. So, yeah. First world problems. First world bra problems. But yeah, so this is the thing. Show up and be genuinely valuable in groups and you will build your visibility so much quicker and you'll build your sales pipeline so much quicker because you're actually doing the right stuff. Okay, you're actually doing things that will get you known and it'll be a lot easier and you don't waste a ton of time and you're not wasting all of your content. And that way, guess what? You get to keep all of your great content, like your lives and like your videos and all that kind of stuff, if you want to, for your group or your community or your YouTube channel or whatever you want to do, right? So that's the way you've got to be thinking about it, okay? And then, do you know what? When there's an opportunity, when that group leader says, here's a pitch thread, here's an opportunity to do a Facebook Live with me, here's an opportunity to be part of this event, take it with both hands and use it and sell transparently. At that point, be like, yes, I'm all over the sale because I earned it, right? I showed up, I engaged, I gave support, I got super visible. Everybody in the group is now referring me. All of my competitors are like bowled over because I'm a genuinely nice person who does what I say I'm going to do and works with integrity. And the group leader likes me enough to let me promote. Blitz it, right? That is the solid strategy to selling in a Facebook group without worrying about all of this content and all of this stuff. Show up, be helpful, be valuable, network. Please, everybody, remember this word. Your network is your net worth, right? Network appropriately, build relationships. I know we keep banging on about it, and sell transparently, right? I love it. Jen's like, yes. Helen, hell to the yes. Whip, whip, whip. Love the idea of earning your right. Exactly. You know, this is the thing. Facebook groups, and the reason that people are so overwhelmed by Facebook groups at the moment and they're not enjoying them is because it is just people talking at you all of the time. It's like information, 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 information. And there's very little social about it. There's very little genuine support, genuine giggles, like hilarity, Ryan Gosling threads. Like, you know, there's very few places that do it. And so when you become that person who actually does those things, who stands for that kind of stuff, you win. Right? You become somebody, you become the useful person, you become the cog, you become the essential wheel, you become the lifeblood of the group, whatever, you know, you want to think. And actually you become a bloody nice person who makes a lot of money. Yeah? Okay, I hope that all made sense to you. Marcy, I know you just joined, but please go and watch the replay because I absolutely waxed lyrical about your threads this week, so congratulations. If you found this useful, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. I won't be in here tomorrow because I'm taking my mum out for dinner and doing that. And I'll be going to a Game of Thrones party over the weekend, so you'll see my costume. But I will be back in here next week. I'll be doing a few more trainings about this, and you'll see some posts and things like that from me in here tomorrow and stuff as well. Exactly, Kathy. It is all about being real. And that's what this week really is showing us, that actually the reality is that we get to be who we are and we can make money like that. And yes, there are strategic ways of doing it. And yes, you absolutely must take opportunities to promote yourself. But it is all about building relationships, right? That's the important thing in this game. Building relationships, building the best relationships, and making sure that you cultivate those so that they become fruitful. It might seem like the long-term game, and you know what? It probably is, but it's ultimately the most successful. All right, so I will see you guys. I will be in here tomorrow morning. I'll be putting up some cool posts for you. I've got some really cool content and free stuff planned for you, so that there are things to keep you going over the weekend, just in case you miss me. And I will be back in here on Monday and bringing some really, really cool stuff to the group next week. All right, my loves, have wonderful, wonderful evenings, afternoons, mornings, wherever you are in the world. Focus on building relationships, and I will see you tomorrow. Yay! Grown out your soul, bitches! Whoop, whoop!